Lower face aging. It's a horror. This is the most common comment I got when I asked you guys what you wanted me to make a video for today. Look here, this is exactly what was written into me, so we better dive in. Now, the first order of business, let's stop wasting money. So much of what you guys do is like trying to start a car with no gas. Plenty of effort, but zero results. So let's start with 5 things that won't fix lower face aging, and then I'll direct you to what actually works, what I do in my clinic for my patients, and what I advise them to do at home. I have thousands of patients, and they try everything, it seems, before coming in to see me. I'm in a unique position to see things that actually work and what flops. The more you can do at home successfully, the better. Because let's be real, no one wants to spend their life in a waiting room flipping through outdated magazines. I'm expensive, and it's not always pain-free when you sit in my chair. Lower face aging, sagging jawline, droopy mouth, jowls, lip lines above and below. Let's go, your time's valuable. So by a landslide, the number one mistake my patients make, and likely you, slapping on expensive anti-aging creams. Creams are great for hydration, but many of the ones my patients walk in the door with don't lift or rebuild their lost structure. Structure, I said. Why? The problem is deeper. Think bone loss, fat shifting, ligament weakening. They're ligaments that hold up your face that go from your bone to the skin called osteocutaneous ligaments. We play upon them with fillers, but also surgically. So collagen creams and exfoliating cleansers won't cut it. A collagen molecule is too large to penetrate. And by the way, you can't rub these off. You can't rub away lower face aging or scrape off lip lines. Trying to dermaplane them off or using an abrasive brush is like sanding a raisin, hoping to turn it back into a grape. I can't tell you how many tried to do this. That leads to inflammation and what I call inflammaging. Number 2, overfilling with dermal fillers. That's like a trout trying to whistle. It ends up puckered, swollen, and slightly confused. Overfilling the lower face will weigh it down and make sagging even worse. The real fix? Strategic support in the mid-face up here to lift up top and the jawline, not just pumping in volume. The solutions I'm going to give you coming up in 90 seconds restore the pyramid of age into the inverted triangle of youth. We have a pyramid of age where more of the volume goes to the lower face, but we want the triangle of youth where we have thin in the lower, more volume in the upper. Look at this image. Do you see the pyramid of age on the right? Imagine adding volume to the base of that pyramid with fillers. That's in fact away from the triangle of youth, the angle that we want to create and will today for you. Number 3, chasing quick fixes like this, the face wands. Have you seen these? They're flying off the shelves faster than toilet paper did in 2020. You see them all over TikTok, and they do look fancy, no doubt. They look like I want to buy them too, but mostly people buy these for quick fixes, and often there's some level of microcurrent or ultrasonic in them, yes, but most just have frequency, but they will not fix this problem. If it feels good to you to use them as part of a skincare routine, they can do maybe some good, but you really need RF here for a real difference. Safe radio frequency heating at home. Number 4, what makes it worse is doing too much cardio. Excessive cardio burns precious facial fat, making the face look hollow and saggy. A little spoiler alert here, instead of that intensive cardio that you're doing, think resistance training and proper hydration. They preserve your actual facial structure and your hormones, but over cardio kills it. More in a sec. The last biggest mistake I see before we go on to the solutions is using only Botox. Yes, it's cheap. It's cheap in the lower face because you can't over paralyze the lower face, or you can't talk, eat, drink, or do other things with your mouth and lower face. And the reason is, yes, it's 6 units for the chin, 6 for the DAO that pull down here, 6 for the area around the lip. That's 18 units or $180 at $10 a unit versus say a glabella treatment up here, which is commonly 25 to 30 units or $300. So yes, Botox is inexpensive relatively in the lower face, but the reality is it's not going to work to help your loose skin or your cobblestoning. Now let's treat the area. Let's quote unquote fix it. Nothing needs fixing, but we all like smoothing. Let's do it like a pro. These are 5 options and they can all be combined as desired or standalone. You see, we all have a different journey and expectation. Whereas one person wants a full-scale home renovation for their look, the other person may just want a little rearranging of the throw pillows. Pick one or two or combine them all, your choice. Step number 1, rebuild facial bone. That's the foundation of your face. Think vitamin K2, D3, and magnesium. These help prevent jawbone shrinkage, and many also chew mastic gum, mastic gum. It works your jaw muscles and stimulates bone growth naturally. Also, get your DEXA scan and do weightlifting, not over cardio. Also, check your hormones here. There's 2 distinct types of things you can do for your hormones. One is systemic, through a patch, a pellet, or a pill. And then there's topical hormones in estrogen cream. So number 1 would be using bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, and number 2 would be using creams. I have great videos on both bioidentical hormone replacement and how to use topical creams, where I break it down in detail for you. But hold up here before you go on to watch those videos, because before estrogen creams, you need to know step number 2 first. Skincare. Now, we talked about moisturizing skincare, yes, but combine these 3 types of skincare that actually work. Number 1, retinols. Number 2, glycolics. And number 3, volufiline before you jump to that estrogen cream. Keep in mind also lip plumpers like this one. Great lip plumpers also contain timed release retinol, and it's why men use them too. Men get lips and fine lines as well. You might think they don't, but they do. The lip lines and vertical lip lines, look at them on men. The thing is, they get them 15 years later on average than a female, but they still get them. And no lips on a man, meaning the absence of lips on a man, is a detractor from aesthetics. You'll see more and more men addressing their lips. Quality lip conditioners are gentle yet effective and built for the lips. I also include peptides in mine. Why do I address lips here? Because we always start at the top and work down. And without structure in your lips, you'll never address the downturned mouth or the edge of the mouth and the lower face aging. You need to address the lips first. Keep in mind, lips shrink for all of us starting at the age of about 23. Go back and look at a picture of yourself in the early 20s and look now. You will have lost lip volume no matter what you've been doing. But the great news now is you don't need injections with these topicals. It's also why lips are flying off syringes faster than ever, and more of these syringes are all natural as opposed to fillers. I'll provide a coupon code for mine today. I'll pin it to the top of the comments. I'll put it in the more info section below this video for those of you not yet on a lip conditioning product that's medical grade. Now, many of you are going to say, Doc, I don't want to spend much money at all. What's a face oil, an inexpensive face oil that might work for this? If you want the number 1 face oil for the lower face, go for castor oil. I'm going to tell you what to mix it with in a second, but castor oil is your first ingredient because it's rich in ricinoleic acid, and that deeply hydrates and supports collagen production. It acts also as a mild astringent. That helps to tighten skin naturally, and it boosts circulation. Where you get blood flow, you don't get aging. We want to increase blood flow. But exactly how you should mix it, use rosehip oil. It's a lighter oil, and you're going to want to massage that in a lifting manner for 1 to 3 minutes 3 times a week. Why the rosehip? It's high also in vitamin C and trans-retinoic acid, a natural form of retinol that helps boost collagen and elastin. So that's your inexpensive oil mix. I like Valona cold-pressed organic, hexane-free. I'll link those as well. Step number 3, strengthen ligaments and skin elasticity. How? Home microneedling. You can use dry home microneedling, 0.25 to 0.5 millimeters if you also have acne scars. By dry microneedling, I mean you don't have a slip, but you still have to cleanse your roller. So to that end, I do have a free home microneedling course, whether you're using a slip or just nothing but the roller, and exactly what type of derma roller to use, because it is important, just go to store.rajanimd.com. I have a section, it's all free. It's called School. And I have a free microneedling course. It's only about 30 or 40 minutes. Take that once and you'll know everything you need, how to clean your face, what rollers to use, how to clean your rollers, and how often you can use them, much, much more. I have an amazing derma roller, and you can buy it separately, stainless steel, sterile, and with its own case. Now, many of you are going to want to step it up to use a slip. You want to use one that's built for your skin and derma rolling. Plasmazomes is the go-to because it has 7 pointed signals in a bilipid membrane. They're made in a USA certified lab, and they're the next generation of exosomes. Better than exosomes for many reasons, but they have no RNA or microRNA in them, but all the best signals for your skin to help rejuvenate, add glow, and strengthen it. They also have hyaluronic acid, tranexamic acid, and niacinamide in that slip. And the best part, it's built for 0.25 millimeter derma rolling, so there's no pain or anesthesia needed. You get 10 uses in one kit. Imagine how much that would cost in a clinic if you went for 10 exosome treatments. It would be very expensive because each one's normally $400. In this case, with plasmazomes, think $300 for 10 treatments. Now, speaking of microneedling, I know you're all going to ask about RF or radio frequency microneedling. Sure, it does. You can use it here. It tightens skin, it stimulates collagen repair through wound healing, and you can target and kill fat. So therein lies the downside. You want to target and kill the fat on the outside of that area, but you want to tighten the skin down by the chin where you get bone loss because you don't want to lose fat. What am I alluding to? Well, you need an expert. Someone who knows how to target it to get rid of fat, but also tighten the skin and not use the same settings where you have the fat to where you want to keep the fat. And for cost, you want to think about $1,000 per session in a clinic. 3 sessions is really what most people are going to need by the time you see skin changes, so it's about $3,000. I've personally used and had all the procedures we're talking about today, including RF microneedling, of which I have a video of me getting it done, along with Ulthera. You can watch my videos on those. Remember, if the person you're getting advice from, be it on YouTube, social media, or wherever, they don't get the things that they're telling you about in their own face, you might want to reconsider who you're listening to. A rule of thumb for me and my patients is I'm not going to ever recommend anything that I haven't had done to myself or wouldn't do to my own family. RF microneedling, I've had it done several treatments. I love it, but you need an expert. Step number 4, use devices that actually work, not just marketing hype. Using a device that doesn't work is like pressing an elevator button harder and harder, hoping it'll get to you faster. Just won't work. Cost, think about $400 for a good home device that's going to help with your lower face, that's safe and effective, both of those parameters you need. How do they work? Well, heating RF devices denature proteins and they prepare them to be rebuilt into more structurally supporting collagen than what you have now. You see, collagen is a protein and an important one for the scaffolding of your face, along with elastin. Think bounce, skin returning to where it was. You need bounce in the lower face, especially in this lower face aging area, because when you talk, what do? You stretch, you move, and the skin, we're asking it to bounce back to where it was when you were 20. We need to restore that. You're now wondering about the safety of home RF, home radio frequency, and I know I get the DMs all the time. Rajani, can you invent an at-home RF microneedling device? But here's the truth. You don't need the needles in RF microneedling because RF can penetrate deep without needles. You see, the depth of the heat is dependent on the frequency. I've covered that about 10 years ago. You can change the frequency of radio frequency to go deeper or more shallow. The new RF device has worked that all out for you and has built-in safety mechanisms so it shuts off when it reaches a temperature that will target fat and kill fat. It just takes a few minutes, a few times a week. It's very easy to do. I have a bunch of tutorials on my playlist. You want to use my free playlist on this channel for all sorts of treatments that you might want to do at home. I talk about how to combine them, how to use them, how to use your skincare routine with many devices, not just the ones that I sell or advise to my patients. Now, what about galvanics and microcurrents? I know many of you like those. Use those if you wish. I outlined the top ones in this video up here. So if you're a device junkie, you can use RF with microcurrent and galvanics. But RF is your heavy hitter. It's all you need if you want your bang for the dollar for the lower face. It's what we use in aesthetic clinics. It's RF. We use microcurrents once in a while for facials. We use galvanics for facials. But when we want to afford change and affect change on the face, we use RF. In Asia, ultrasound is more common. It's just not as available to many people in North America. And how does red light fit into all this? Well, that's your primer. Your red light with an LED mask like this one, it supercharges your mitochondria, so your fibroblasts produce the most collagen they can for all of your treatments, including your RF. So you do your red light first before these other treatments. Again, I outline that on my YouTube channel, on my playlist, exactly the sequence that you should do that I recommend in my clinic to my patients. Now, step number 5 is strategic filler placement and threads, not overfilling. Now, these treatments can be used with everything I mentioned so far today. Remember the throw pillow versus rearranging all the furniture analogy I used above? This applies here. If people have tried all the things above, your next step is to do some injections. I always like to include a section on injections because 35% of you guys watching this channel get fillers, biostimulators, and PDO threads. Let's start with Sculptra, a biostimulator. You want to be cautious in the lower face because anywhere you move and you get Sculptra, you could get some nodules. Now, they go away over time, so usually it's not a big deal. And what I do is I change the concentration in the lower face and I actually add PRF to my Sculptra called Plasma Sculpt. That way you're getting your own growth factors, mesenchymal stem cells actually, and exosomes and secretomes with your Sculptra, not a full concentrated dose of Sculptra. We never put Sculptra ever in the lips or above the lip or just below it because that muscle, the orbicularis oris, is strong, it purses, and you will get nodules there. What about Radius? Yes, it's a calcium-based filler and 70% of that syringe is going to be CMC or carboxymethylcellulose. Radius cannot be dissolved and you have to overfill a little bit because the carboxymethylcellulose only lasts 3 months and goes away. So a lot of people are disappointed when that goes away, but the reality is the 30% of the syringe, which is calcium, will remain. That's your biostimulator part. So it's not ideal for the perioral area. We definitely don't put it in lips, but it is possible to use, and I do use that there. Again, you have to be very cautious, and if it's overfilled a little bit, there's nothing you can do to get rid of it. It's just tincture of time. It will decrease in size because, again, 70% of your syringe is only a 3-month product. Now, what about hyaluronic acid fillers? Sure, you have stiff ones and you have soft ones and you have skin booster types. And a lot of the skin boosters are misrepresented in the United States, so be careful. Europe and Asia, they're actually real skin boosters. That has to do with the FDA approval process, but let's stick with stiff versus soft. I think one of the better group to use down there are the flexible type of fillers, and Galderma has ones called Refine and Define. I like those. They don't draw a lot of water in, so for you people that want the most natural, flexible fillers that move with your body, I think using those type work best. Again, think of going for a few sessions. Don't try and get it all done at once because then you might get overfilled and your injector, your provider wants to give you satisfaction. So they don't want you calling back at 2 to 3 weeks saying, I don't see anything, which is the most common thing when you do it properly because you're doing minutiae steps at a time. So I'd much rather people come in 2, 3, 4 times and I slowly build up rather than them saying, hey, I got too much in there. So go slow with your fillers. There's no rush. Other biostimulators to consider are things like PDRN, salmon sperm DNA, Guri, PCL, Lanluma, but you're now going to want to watch this video all about Gua Sha and one down here on platelet-rich fibrin, a simple blood draw for an all-natural biostimulator to keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.